So I'm Luke Hagedoorn and I do clinics mostly for horsemanship for polo cross and another clinic called Confidence Through Control. And these videos are a reference for the people that have done the clinics to come back and have a look at the stuff that we've done in between or with other difficult horses, or to help people get up and get their horses going a little bit better in between the main drills and exercises that we do. So we'll start here with a few definitions that I'll use a lot during this video. And first of all, so I break the horse down into 4 parts. I have his hips and his ribs, his shoulders, his head and neck. And then if we split the horse in half down his spine, then we have 2 sides of that. The head and the neck on the right hand side, head and the neck left hand side, left shoulders, right shoulders, so on and so forth. And my definitions of hip control are that I can make a bigger circle with my hips and a smaller circle with my front end. I don't want a plant foot, because especially when we're riding one-handed, a plant foot can be really difficult to lift the horse back off again. He gets that leg stuck in the ground, and then it takes a lot more effort to get it up and going. Particularly when we're riding one-handed, if his feet are free and moving all the time, then it's a lot less effort to dig him up out of the ground. So that's hip control. You just make a big circle with your hind feet and a smaller circle with your front end. A side pass, obviously it's just side pass, but side pass is a combination of your hips and your shoulders. So if your side pass starts getting bogged down, you just walk his front end and then chase his back end. Walk his front end, chase his back end until the horse frees up his feet and moves sideways for you. And then for the front end, so this gets called lots of things. We've got to walk the front end around. We want our shoulders to go, etc. But it's just making a big circle with your front feet and a small circle with your back feet. There are turns where you want that inside back foot to plant and they turn around over the top of it. But if your horse can move his back feet up and in to the turnaround, it's going to get a lot less one-dimensional. And so rather than just being a turn, you can now choose the directions a lot better. So we want those back feet to move up and underneath that horse. So we need to keep them moving just a little. Right, and the head and neck. So we need vertical control. Vertical, breaking at the pole, vertical flexion and lateral flexion. And when our horse is broke, meaning that we can break him into all these parts, we probably don't need any more really than that amount of give. So when you can see their inside eye, their horse is actually bent enough, because we want our horse's feet to move underneath the horse. We don't want to be pulling him around so that his feet have to catch up. A broke horse only breaks in only needs to bend in 2 spots: the pole and the loins. The loins to pull their back feet up underneath them, and the pole to give vertical flexion, and that's where our shock absorber is, so that the feet can stay soft. Right, so, and then we have forward. We want to be able to control that forward, and we want to be able to control the back up. We don't ever want a horse to rush backwards. We want to be able to control each step we take. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So the idea of when we can break down the horse into all these parts is that I want 1-step control over every movement. I don't want it to mean that every time I pull the rein or kick that horse, put my leg on, that he blows that way. I want to be able to control every step that he takes. So shoulders out 1 step, shoulders back in 1 step and across. Hips over 1, ribs over 1, ribs in 1, shoulders out, and then one step back up, one step forward. So with all that, the most important thing that we can teach our horse is to get off our leg. Right, so with this, we want to just put our leg on, and that tells the horse the direction we're going. It's put the right leg on, we're going left in some fashion. We do not go back into our leg at all. We're only getting away from it, and our hands can dictate how the horse moves from there. So I put my leg on, and he's moving sideways. Neutral hands is side pass. My hands dictate, so opposite rein to the leg that I'm getting on is the front end moves. And then the same rein that this leg is on pushes the hips. And then no reins side passing, because we're always moving off that leg. We're talking about getting a horse off our leg, which means we probably need to wear, well, we do need to wear spurs, right? And wearing spurs all the time just helps you out. The spurs aren't for going forward; they're for pushing our horse sideways and getting flexion and getting softness. And if you think that your horse doesn't like spurs, or my horse can't handle spurs, your horse probably isn't very broke anyway, and isn't good enough at being asked to do what you ask it to do. So, yeah, just wear them and let your horse teach you how to use them. And if your horse has a paddy about you wearing the spurs, well, it's going to have a paddy about other things. It's just a behavioural issue. It's not actually about the spurs. So when you are using spurs, and these straight spurs, the straight shank on them, are the best. I do not like side rollers, because the side rollers encourage you to swing your leg like this, which is just bad horsemanship, and it's also very unintentional. When I want to use my spur, with these spurs, you very intentionally have to turn your toe out to bring your toe in, and it's a turn, here mate, go over there, and it's turn your toe out, bump with your calf, and then lift with your spur if nothing happens. So again, very intentional about turning your toe out, bumping with your calf, and then lifting your spur up and into that horse to put your spur on. You do not want to just sit there and run your legs backwards and forwards because it's unintentional. We want to be very intentional about what we ask the horse to do. Very intentional about, I want one step here like this, and then I want one step there like that. So yeah, so wear your spurs. If your horse is very touchy, just point your toes in and get them off till you realise like where and how you're putting them on. I've finally settled on just riding all my breakers, doesn't matter how touchy they are with spurs, because by the time you get to 3 or 4 rides when you want your spurs on, then you have to, a lot of the time it feels like you have to go back and redo those first 3 or 4 rides, so you might as well just been wearing them at the start and just be a lot more careful with them and be very intentional on how you use them.